Because the answer is stranger than most people realize. Modern money often begins when a bank approves a loan. Imagine walking into a bank and asking to borrow $10,000. Most people imagine the bank opening a vault and handing over money that already exists. But that is not usually what happens. Instead, the bank approves the loan, enters it into a computer, and a new deposit appears in your account. One moment, that money was not there. The next moment, you can spend it. But something else is created at exactly the same time: your debt. This is where the accounting becomes surprisingly simple. The bank now has your promise to repay the loan. And you have a deposit, money you can use. You might spend it on a car, a home, equipment, or a business. Then the money moves through the economy. A contractor gets paid. The contractor pays workers. Workers buy food. Shops pay suppliers. The original loan becomes part of a chain of transactions. So where does all this money come from? An important part of the answer is that commercial banks can create new deposits when they make loans. But modern money is not simply piles of cash waiting inside bank vaults. Most of the money people use every day exists digitally as balances recorded in bank accounts. Now imagine you repay the loan. In simplified terms, as the principal is repaid, the loan shrinks and the deposit money used for repayment is reduced. So modern money can be created through lending and reduced as loans are repaid. The system is constantly changing. New loans, new deposits, repayments, transfers, spending. Millions of transactions happening every day. But if banks can create deposits through lending, can they create unlimited money? No. Banks face regulations, capital requirements, liquidity needs, central bank policy, and the risk that borrowers will not repay. A bank cannot create money without limits or consequences. It must manage risk and operate inside a financial system with rules. Then there is trust. Your bank balance is useful because you believe other people will accept it. Money works because people, businesses, banks, and governments agree to treat it as payment. Every transaction depends on records, rules, institutions, and shared confidence. And when trust disappears, things can become dangerous. Imagine thousands of people becoming afraid and trying to move their money at the same time. Banks do not normally keep every customer's balance sitting untouched as physical cash. They manage assets and liabilities while depending on liquidity and confidence. When fear spreads faster than trust, a financial problem can grow rapidly. But a central bank and your local commercial bank are not the same thing. Then comes interest. Borrow $10,000, and you normally do not repay only $10,000. You repay the principal plus interest. That cost influences how willing people are to borrow. When loans become cheaper, households may borrow more, and businesses may invest more. When borrowing becomes expensive, people often slow down. That is why interest rates can affect mortgages, car payments, business expansion, and asset prices. But you are already living inside this system. You are interacting with a complex system humans have ever built. Perhaps the strangest part is this. Money feels physical because we see coins, notes, cards, and numbers on screens. But modern money is also a network of promises. Promises to pay. Promises to repay. Records that banks maintain. Rules that governments enforce. And trust that allows the entire system to function. When you open your banking app, you are not just looking at numbers. You are looking at a record inside a system built on accounting, debt, law, technology, and trust. Those numbers can influence almost every decision in your life. So the next time you see money appear in your account, remember how strange the system behind it is. Modern money is not simply discovered. A significant part of it is created through lending. It moves through millions of hands and accounts. And it exists because people continue believing that the system will work. That may be the strangest thing about money. It is not just paper. It is not just numbers. It is humanity's biggest shared agreement. And somehow, that agreement keeps the modern world moving.